Not sure. What's up, guys? Back with another faction focus. I believe they say we got one more tomorrow with like Titans and stuff in it. But this is the one I've been waiting for. It's the Angels of Death, the non-Codex Astartes compliant chapters. So we got the Dark Angels, the Space Wolves, the Blood Angels, the Black Templars, and the Death Watch. I got my Space Wolf gear on. I've been playing Space Wolf since 2nd edition. Always been my favorite army. Got a custom Wolf Lord Matt hat made by my good friend Jimmy Hoppus down in Florida. So let's go ahead and hop in and see what they give us. I wish they'd have broken it down like they did for World Eaters, Death Guard. They all got their own individual faction focuses. We just get all lumped together. Hopefully they give us a little more love in our data sheets and rules and points. So let's see what they give us in here. Every Space Marine is a truly legendary warrior. Even amongst 1,000 more chapters as this, there are a select few who have earned the greatest fame. Some date back to the fabled first founding, while others have earned their name through sheer excellence and unquenchable zeal. Regardless of the reason for renown, they all fight in a way that sets them apart. So, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, and Blood Angels are all first founding. Death Watch are their own thing that came later. Black Templars are a successor chapter to the Imperial Fists. And then showing us some Dark Angels and Blood Angels here. These 5 chapters are the stars of the penultimate faction focus. With so much to get through, we can only skim their surface. Rest assured, there'll be plenty more to see when their data sheets arrive later this month. Here they're giving us some Death Watch and then some Death Wing, so more Dark Angels. Alright, so Dark Angels detachment rule is Grim Resolve. While Adeptus Astartes unit from your army is Battle Shocked, change the objective control characteristic of models that unit to 1 instead of 0. That's actually really pretty good. I mean, you have to fail objective control first, but if you do, you actually can still potentially hold an objective, where most people are just going to completely have no objective control on it. So, doesn't help with your damage or anything else like that. So we'll see what the army rule is. This is just their detachment rule. But alright, that's not the worst thing I've seen. That could be very solid in those cases where you fail. Just makes them a little more reliable, which kind of fits in with Dark Angels. They always seemed like they always had Grim Resolve. They don't fail leadership. They're just consistent. So that's alright. That's alright. Then they give us a Deathwing Command Squad. Any number of Deathwing Terminators can have their Stormbolter and Power Fist replaced with one of the following: Twin Lightning Claws, Thunderhammer Storm Shield. Any number of Deathwing Command Terminators can have their Power Fist replaced with one Chain Fist. Every 5 models in this unit, one Deathwing Terminator replaces Stormbolter with one of the following: Assault Cannon, Heavy Flamer, Plasma Cannon, Stormbolter, and one Cyclone Missile Launcher. And then a Stormbolter can't be replaced for anything else. Could they always take a Plasma Cannon? If they are, that's news to me. I don't ever remember seeing it. Maybe it's just because it's not worth risking a Terminator if you overcharge it. And then they can take one Watcher in the Dark. Watcher in the Dark can be found on the Deathwing Knight data sheet. So they're actually going to show us him here. So unit gets one Deathwing Ancient, one Deathwing Apothecary, one Deathwing Champion, and then 2 to 7 Deathwing Command Terminators. The Ancient is equipped with a Stormbolter Power Fist. The Apothecary is equipped with Stormbolter Chain Fist. The Champion is equipped with Halberd of Caliban. Every Deathwing Command Terminator is equipped with Stormbolter Power Fist. So the Ancient and the guys have the same weapon. Your Apothecary gets the Chain Fist. Your Champion gives up his Stormbolter, and his Power Fist looks like just for the, and he only has the Halberd. Alright, Assault Cannon, Devastating Wounds, 24-inch range, 6 attacks, 3 up to hit, Strength 6, AP01 damage, but 6s to wound are going to be doing mortals. A Cyclone Missile Launcher has 2 shots, Frag and Crack. Frag is getting Blast. Both 36 inches, 2d6 shots to 2. Both hit on 3s, Strength 4 to Strength 9, AP0 to AP2, 1 damage to d6 damage. Alright, that's pretty much what you'd expect there. Heavy Flamer ignores Power Torrent. 12-inch range, d6 shots, auto hit, Strength 5, neg 1 damage, consistent with the Heavy Flamers we've seen. Plasma Cannon, Standard Blast, Supercharged Blast Hazardous. 36-inch range, d3 shots, hits on 3, Strength 7 goes to 8, neg 2 goes to neg 3, 1 damage goes to 2. but to gain those bonuses, you risk losing your model on the 1. Stormbolter, Rapid Fire 2, 24-inch range, 2 shots. It'll be 4 shots at 12 inches. Ballistic Skill 3, Strength 4, AP 1 damage. Then we have the Chain Fist, which is anti-vehicle 3+, so doing critical wounds to vehicles on a 3. 3 attacks, 4 up to hit, Strength 8, -2, 2 damage. Halberd of Caliban, Precision. Alright, so your champion can pick out characters. 5 attacks, 3 up to hit, Strength 6, -2, 2 damage. Power Fist, 3 attacks, 3 up to hit, Strength 8, -2, 2 damage. So, difference between a Power Fist and Chain Fist now is Power Fist hits better, Chain Fist will wound vehicles better. It doesn't get any extra damage or AP or anything against vehicles, just will wound them better. But in most other cases, it's worse because you hit worse. So it's only if you're really trying to dedicate something to anti-vehicle that I believe you would take the Chain Fist, although your one guy comes equipped with it naturally. You get the Power Weapon, which is 4 attacks, 3 hit, Strength 5, -2, 1 damage. Thunderhammer, Devastating Wounds on the Thunderhammer, so 6 is the wound, will be mortal. 3 attacks, 4 up to hit, Strength 8, -2, 2 damage. Alright, so it kept the -2 that it had in the last edition, but its damage went down to 2 from 3. Then you got the Twin Lightning Claws, which are twin linked, so rerolling wounds, which is basically something they've had forever, so they're keeping that. 5 attacks, 3 up to hit, Strength 5, -2, 1 damage. Then you got Deep Strike, Oath of the Moment from Space Marines, Narthesum. While this unit contains an apothecary in your command phase, you can return 1 destroyed model, excluding character models, to this unit. Alright, so you automatically just returned 1 destroyed model. It's no longer a strat. You no longer have to take Selfless Hero Warlord trait and all that stuff. You just, every command phase, you can bring back 1 destroyed model, as long as it's not a character. Then you have your banner, Astartes Banner. While this unit contains an Ancient, add 1 to the objective control characteristic of its models. Oh, that goes good with the Dark Angel one. So say they fail their Battle Shock, they go to Objective Control 1. You have the banner, they're still Objective Control 2. The rest of the time, they're going to be Objective Control 3. So actually, look, they're Objective Control 1 normally. So failing Battle Shock actually does not affect their Objective Control, because they don't go to 3 because they're not a troop. So they're just going to be, if you have the banner, they're Objective Control all the time, even if they fail a Battle Shock check. So that's very good reliability there. Honor or Death. While this unit contains a company champion, add 1 to advance and charge rolls made for this unit, and you can target this unit with a Heroic Intervention strat for 0 CP. Oh, that's nice. So they get +1 to advance and charge, and they can Heroic Intervention for 0 CP. Then they get the Storm Shield. The Bearer has a wounds characteristic of 4. Alright, so Storm Shield now is +1 wound, and you have a 4-up invul save. So it looks like Storm Shield's last edition went from a 3-up to a 4-up, and +1 save. Now Terminators already have a 4-up, so Storm Shield is just giving them +1 wound. I'm wondering, I'm assuming, since they're trying to keep things consistent, Storm Shields, even on like Vanguard Vets and stuff like that, will also have this. I'm wondering if it will also give an invul save, because if it doesn't, then a Storm Shield on a Vanguard Vet would just make them 3 wounds, but then they would have no invul. So I'm interested to see how it's, if the wording of the Wargear stuff is different on them, or if perhaps some way they lose access to it. Alright, that's interesting. So let's roll on down. Oh, and then they're giving us Lionel Johnson. So we may have seen this somewhere else. 8-inch move, T9, 2-up save, 10 wounds, leadership 5, objective control 4. He has Arma Luminous. It's a bolt, and it's plasma. So it's a pistol. So it looks like it's a weapon that has 2 different versions it can shoot. So 12-inch range, strength, 4 attacks to 2 attacks. Both hit on 2, strength 4 to strength 8, -1 to -3, 2 damage, 2 damage. Does he get to shoot both versions of it? Not actually sure. Then his weapons are Fealty, which has a strike and sweep. So his strike attack will have lethal hits, so auto winning on 6s. And the sweep will have sustained hits 1, so extra attacks on 6s to hit. So 8 attacks to 16, which on average dice, with the 2 extra hits, and he hits on 2, so you should average out your 16 hits. So then Both hit on 2s, strength 12 to strength 6, neg 4 to neg 3, 4 damage to 2 damage. Alright, very solid weapon. Then he's he has fights first, which if you've paid attention to new rules means if someone else charges you, you will still get to fight first, because whoever's turn it is not gets to choose the first unit in both steps of the fight phase. So this is a very good defensive mechanic. If your guys get charged and it's something you're really worried that could kill him or something, or you heroic in with him, he will get to swing before one of the charging units if you decide to do so. Then he's Primarch of the First Legion. In your command phase, select one Primarch of the First Legion ability, see left until the start of your next command phase. This model has that ability. Alright, so you get to pick one of these 3 in your command phase. All secrets revealed. Once per turn, when your opponent targets a unit from their army with a stratagem, but before that stratagem's effects are resolved, if that unit is within 12 inches of this model, you gain 1 CP, and that enemy unit must take a battle shock test. If that test is failed, in addition to that unit being battle shocked, that stratagem's effect are not resolved, that stratagem still counts as being used this phase. Oh. Alright, so I mean they gotta be within 12 of him, but that'd be strong if they're trying to say they are within range, they try to charge. They fail. Like, alright, if you had this up, you're alright, you're trying to re-roll it? Alright, I gain a CP, you take a battle shock. They pass it, cool, they get to use it. They fail it, not only can they not use the re-roll, but it also counts as being used, so they can't re-roll a different charge that phase. I'm sure there's lots of other things where this would come up. That is fight first. Or not the interrupt. If he's in combat, someone's trying to interrupt him. Nope, you're not interrupting. I'm getting a CP. Oh, you failed your battle shock. You're not interrupting. You can't use any other strats on the unit. They lose their objective control. Like, that's huge. Especially if they charged you trying to clear an objective or something. Oh, now you don't even have objective control. So you have to kill every model here for the objective to be unheld, not even for you to control it. Alright, it's 12-inch range, so it's not going to be useful all the time, but when it is, that could be huge. You have to do it in your command phase, so you have to think of this and be ready for it, so it does take some forethought, but if you pull it off at the right time, that's strong. Martial Exemplar is an aura. While a friendly Adeptus Astartes unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack, add +1 to the hit roll. So +1 to hit for an aura. Not bad. No hiding from the Watchers, aura. While a friendly Adeptus Astartes unit is within 6 inches of this model, models in that unit have the feeling of being 4+ ability against mortal wounds. Alright, so gives a 4 feeling of pain against mortal wounds. Alright, that's fine. All of these have to be chosen. I'm assuming the +1 to hit rolls be the one you pick most of the time. Although it's only with melee, so you have to be taking mortal wounds. You have to be within 6 inches of melee units. You have to be within 12. So these aren't all effective. Like turn 1, probably none of these are going to be super useful. So it's not like some of the ones we've seen like this have stuff that's useful. They'll always be doing something useful. So these are decent, fairly strong, but only you're going to have to be in the right situation and predict that situation in your command phase before it happens. Then he gets the Emperor's Shield. Each time attack targets this model, subtract 1 from the wound roll. In addition, each time a melee attack is allocated to this model, an unmodified saving throw of 6, the attacking unit suffers more than 1 wound after it has finished making its attacks. Alright, so he's -1 to wound, and if you're in combat and he makes a 6-up on his save, you're going to take a mortal wound on your unit. Dark Angel's Bodyguard. While this model is within 3 inches of 1 or more friendly Adeptus Astartes infantry units, this model has the lone operative ability. Alright, so he's within 3 inches of an Adeptus Astartes infantry unit. Doesn't say Dark Angels. I believe the faction building will keep it limited to Dark Angels, but if for some reason you're playing Apocalypse or narrative games or something and you had him in with other units, they would also still block him. He gains lone operative, which means he can't be targeted if you're more than 12 inches away from him, so a little character protection. And then, the Space Wolves, here's my boys, fighting some chaos. Ahriman, so Thousand Suns Space Wolves, that's our biggest rival, although Dark Angels and Space Wolves have a little bit of history as well. The chalk to the Dark Angels cheese, the Space Wolves are ferocious frontline fighters who love nothing more than a good scrap, a loud chorus, and a big old tankard of Fenrisian mead. Their chapter contains a proud history of storytelling with characters competing to fulfill deeds worthy of sagas in the midst of combat to better boast about when the battle is inevitably won. Alright, so our detachment rule for Space Wolves starting out will be deeds worthy of a saga. At the end of the battle round, you can select one of the sagas listed below. If that saga was completed by your army during that battle round, all Adeptus Astartes models from your army gain the associated benefit until the end of the battle. You can only select each saga once per battle, but you can select all of them. Alright, so saga completed if one or more Adeptus Astartes character model from your army destroyed one or more enemy character models during the battle round. Benefit: once completed, melee weapons equipped by Adeptus Astartes models from your army have the sustained hits 1 ability. Alright, so if one of your characters kills an enemy character, the army can gain +1 hit on 6s to hit. Saga of Majesty. This saga is completed if you controlled one or more objective markers in your opponent's deployment zone at the end of either player's turn during that battle round, and one or more Adeptus Astartes characters models from your army were within range of that objective marker. Alright, so you have to control an objective marker in your opponent's deployment zone, and you have to have a character there. Benefit: once completed, improve this objective control characters of Adeptus Astartes models from your army by 1. So everybody in your army gets +1 objective control. This saga of the Bear. This saga is completed if one or more Adeptus Astartes character models from your army are reduced to below half their starting number of wounds during the battle round, but were not destroyed at the end of the battle round. Alright, so when your characters has to get reduced to half, below half their wounds, and survive. Once completed, Adeptus Astartes models from your army have the Philippine 6+ ability. Saga of the Beast Slayer. This saga is completed if one or more Adeptus Astartes character models from your army destroyed one or more enemy monster or vehicle models during the battle round. Benefit: once completed, melee weapons equipped by Adeptus Astartes models from your army have the lethal hits ability, so auto wounding on 6s to hit. Like, none of these abilities, once you get them, are bad. They're all solid, but all of them are going to be difficult to do. So your characters are normally in units, and you can't start allocating wounds to characters until the units are dead. So unless they're getting sniped or somehow a psychic mortal wound thing gets around it, you have to lose a whole unit that's protecting the character and have the character take at least half his wounds and not die. And then you get a field in a plane of only a 6-up. Not great. So you have to take an objective marker in your opponent's deployment zone and have one of your characters there. So this isn't going to be something that happens early. If you can pull it off late game, you get +1 objective control on everybody in your army. But normally, if you're taking the objective in your opponent's deployment zone, you're probably already winning the game. So, I mean, yes, maybe once in a while you'll be able to pull it off while it's a real tight game, but most of the time that's not going to be that useful. Most people aren't going to be charging their characters into Space Wolves if they're smart, so you're going to have to send your character and his unit across the table to get to stuff, putting them in very harm's way, so this probably isn't going to come up that often. The one that most likely to happen is a monster vehicle, because transports or stuff will be out there. So the 6s to hit auto wound is probably the one I would guess that would happen the most often. So this, I'm not super impressed with it, a little disappointed, but we'll see. Then they give us the Hounds of Morkai. 6-inch move, T4, 3-up save, 2 wounds, leaf shakes, 1 objective control. They have the Morkai Bolt Pistol, Anti-Psyker 4+, Devastating Wounds, Pistol, Precision. So it can target characters, Wound Psyker, critical Wound Psychers on a 4+, which will then turn into mortals. But it does regular mortals on a 6-up, 12-inch range, 1 shot, 3-up hit, strength 4, -1 wound damage. Then you have the Morkai Combat Knife, Anti-Psyker 4+, Devastating Wounds, Precision, so the same things. 4 attacks, 3-up hit, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Yeah, they do mortals, but it's all 1 damage. Scout 6 inches, so they can scout 6 inches. They have both at the moment. Morkai's Howl. In your shooting phase, you can select 1 enemy unit within 12 inches of this unit. If a lieutenant in Reaver Armory is leading this unit, you can select 1 enemy unit within 12 inches instead. That unit must take a Battle Shock test, subtracting 1 from the result if it's a Psyker unit. If that test is failed, in addition to being Battle Shock, that unit is stunned until the start of your next shooting phase. While the unit is stunned, each time a model in that unit makes a Psychic attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. So they're stunned until my next shooting phase. The Battle Shock, I believe, goes away in their player's shooting phase. 6 up invul save, improved to 4+ against psychic attacks. They can give -1 to hit the psychic units. Cool, that's fluffy. Not, I mean, you can make people fail Battle Shock checks. That's fine. So that's not the worst thing. But you only get to select 1 unit. It's not an aura. But, so it's okay. Not, once again, not super impressed with that. And that's all they give us. So Blood Angels got the big Deathwing Command Squad in Lionel Johnson. We just get the Hounds of Morkai, which are a very niche unit, very rarely seen. We didn't get Wolfen, we didn't get Thunderwolf guy, we didn't get any of our really core Space Wolf units shown here. And they give them Lionel Johnson, but they don't give us like Russ or Ragnar or anything. So that's a little disappointing. Blood Angels. Blood Angels are perhaps the most beloved and respected chapter in the galaxy. Ha! Oh shit. So let's see what they give the they give them the Red Thirst. Each time Adeptus start a unit from your army is selected to fight. If that unit makes a charge move this turn, until the end of the phase, add 1 to the strength and attacks characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in that unit. That is really good. That's really strong. Fits in with a charging, combat-built Space Marine army. You know, something, you know, I wish something like that had been given to Space Wolves. Like, I don't know. The last couple of books Space Wolves have gotten really mediocre. I don't know why they're getting the treatment they're getting, but it is what it is. But I'm going to stop complaining about Space Wolves. So this is really good for Blood Angels. They give them the Death Company Intercessors. So 6-inch move, T4, 3 up save, 2 wounds, leadership 6, objective control 1. They give them the Astartes Grenade Launcher, Frag Crack, Blast on the Frag, 24-inch range, D3 shots to 1, 3 up to hit, strength 4 to strength 9, AP 0 to AP 2, 1 damage to D3 damage. Bolt Pistol, 12 inches, 1 shot, 3 up to hit, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Bolt Rifle, 24-inch range, 2 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 4, -1, 1 damage. Bolt Rifles do not have rapid fire. A Hand Flamer, ignores cover, Pistol Torrent. So 12 shots, D6, or sorry, 12 inches, D6 shots, auto hit, strength 3, AP 0, 1 damage. Then the Heavy Bolt Pistol is 18-inch range, 1 attack, 3 hit, strength 4, -1, 1 damage. Plasma Pistol, standard supercharge pistol on both, hazardous on the supercharge. 12 inches, 1 shot, 3 up to hit, strength 7 to 8, -2 to -3, 1 damage to 2 damage. Hazardous gives you a chance to kill your guy. So, pretty much what we've seen on all the plasma. Astartes Chainsword, 4 attacks, weapon skill 3, strength 4, -1, 1 damage. Close combat weapon, 3 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Power Fist, 3 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 8, -2 damage. Power Weapon, 4 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 5, -2, 1 damage. Thunderhammer, Devastating Wounds, 3 attacks, 4 up to hit, strength 8, -2 damage. And 6s to Wounded Immortals. I know some of these are duplicates from the Dark Angel stuff, but I'm assuming some people are going to just skip to the chapter they like, so I'm going to just read through all of it anyway. Feel No Pain 6+, because they're Death Company. Within the moment, Black Rage. Each time model in this unit makes an attack, you can reroll the hit roll. While this unit is not within 12 inches of 1 or more friendly chaplain models, it cannot be selected to fall back. And objective control check for small models in this unit is 0. Alright, so if they get away from a chaplain, they never fall back, and their objective control is 0 because they're just trying to kill stuff. They're not actually thinking about the mission. Alright, that's fluffy. That makes sense. So you're definitely going to need to bring some chaplains if you want your Death Company to be holding anything. Assuming this is going to be on all Death Company units. Vision of Heresy. Once per turn, you can target this unit with the Firewatch stratagem or the Heroic Intervention stratagem for 0 CP. Alright, so you don't get to do both because it says or. But once per turn, you can choose one of those 2 for 0 CP. Alright, that's solid. I mean, they're just intercessors to get a little extra flavor from being Death Company, but very just what you expect from intercessors. Gabriel Seth, I'll say they get a character. Alright, stop bitching. War gear options, none. He's an epic hero. He's equipped with Bolt Pistol and Blood Reaver. This model can be attached to following units: Assault Squad, Command Squad, Tactical Squad, Vanguard Veteran Squad. This model's from the Flesh Tearers chapter, a successor of Blood Angels for all rules purposes, treated as a Blood Angel model, but cannot be included in an army that includes any other Blood Angels epic hero models. Alright, so I guess they're including this because it's Flesh Tearers. Gabriel Seth is a 6-inch move, T4, 3-up save, 6 wounds, leadership 6, 1 objective control, bolt pistol, 1 attack, 2 up to hit, strength for AP 1 damage. Blood Reaver has sustained hits 1, so 6 to hit will do extra hits. 6 attacks, weapon skill 2, strength 8, negative 3 damage. Leader, so as you saw, you can join units. At the moment, Lord of Slaughter. While this model is leading a unit, that unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. Alright, so it gives his unit advantage in charge. Whirlwind of Gore. Each time this model fights, until that fight is resolved, add 1 to the attack characteristics of this model's Blood Reaver for every 5 enemy models within 6 inches of this model. Alright, for every 5 models the enemy has, you get an extra attack in the combat. Or no. Just within 6 inches of him. It doesn't actually say they have to be engaged in the combat. Alright, interesting. Then he's got a 4 pinball save. Alright, then they're giving us the Black Templars. So they're out doing their crusade. Let's see what they get. So they have Templar Vows. At the start of the first battle round, select one of the 4 Templar Vows below to be active for the Adept of the Astartes units from your army until the end of the battle. So at the start of the first battle round, you select one of these, and it's just yours all game. You don't have to complete any weird sagas to get special rules. Suffer Not the Unclean to Live. Melee weapons equipped by models of this unit have the lethal hits ability. Alright. That's cool. So you can choose to have 6 to hit auto wound. Uphold the Honor of the Emperor. Models of this unit have the Feel No Pain 6+ ability and a leadership characteristic of 5+. Alright, so you can just auto get the 6-up Feel No Pain and a 5+ leadership. Bore the Witch, Destroy the Witch. Model in this unit have the 4+ invul save against psychic attacks, and melee weapons equipped by model of this unit have the anti-psychic 4+ ability. That's solid. Playing in 1,000 Suns or Grey Knights, that would be real useful. Accept any challenge no matter the odds. Melee weapons equipped by model of this unit have the Sustained Hits 1 ability. Alright, so depending on what you're fighting knights, you pick this to wound them better. You're fighting something that's just going to be making you take lots and lots of saves but has low damage count, you take this. Psycho Army's this. You're just fighting a horde that you just need to whittle through, then you take this. Alright, so Black Templars are their rule is very flexible. That's very nice. Then we get the Primaris Sword Brethren. 6-inch move, T4, 3-up save, 3 wounds, leadership 6, objective control 1. They have the Combi Weapon, which is anti-infantry 4+, devastating wounds, rapid fire 1. So you're going to be doing mortals to infantry on a 4-up to wound. 24-inch range, 1 attack, 3-up to hit, strength for every 1 damage. A heavy bolt pistol, 18-inch range, 1 attack, 3-up to hit, strength for -1 damage. Plasma pistol, standard supercharged pistol, and then hazardous pistol, 12-inch range, 1 attack, 3-up to hit, strength 7 to 8, -2 to -3, 1 damage to 2 damage. And then we got the Pyre pistol, ignores cover, pistol torrent. So 12-inch range, D6 shots, auto hit, strength 4, AP 1 damage. Then we got the Astartes Chainsword, is melee, 5 attacks, 3-up to hit, strength 4, -1 damage. Mastercrafted Power Weapon, 4 attacks, 2-up to hit, strength 5, -2 damage. Power Weapon, 4 attacks, 3-up to hit, strength 5, -2 1 damage. And then the Thunderhammer, devastating wounds, so 6 wounds will do mortals. 3 attacks, 4-up to hit, strength 8, -2 damage. Then with Factions Oath of the Moment, then they have Foulsworn Bladesman. At the start of the fight phase, you can select one of the following effects to apply to melee weapons equipped by the models in this unit until the end of the phase. Add 1 to the attack characteristics of the weapons, add 1 to the damage. So each fight phase, you can choose to give them +1 attack or +1 damage, depending on what you're swinging into. Very nice. Then we get the Death Watch. Death Watch, not a chapter per se, but rather an organization that takes the best and brightest yet. So they just basically, every Space Marine chapter has to send some Astartes to Death Watch at certain times. So then there are attachment rules. Mission Tactics. At the start of your command phase, you can select one of the mission tactics listed below. Till the start of your next command phase, that mission tactic is active, and its effect will apply to all units from your army with this ability. Each mission tactic can only be selected once per battle. Alright, so they can choose mission tactics. This is basically very similar to combat doctrines. You get to choose one well, I think combat doctrines are battle round, but you choose these in your command phase. They only use once per battle. Forward tactics. While in this mission tactic is active, weapons equipped by Adeptus Astartes units from your army have sustained hits 1 ability. Malleus tactic. While this mission tactic is active, weapons equipped by Adeptus Astartes units from your army have the lethal hits ability. Purgatus tactics. While this mission tactic is active, each time Adeptus Astartes unit from your army makes an attack, if a critical hit is scored, that attack has the precision ability. After you can target characters, you can auto wound on 6s, or you can get extra hits on 6s. Alright, so you only got 3, so you're only going to be 3 of the 4 turns, or 3 of the 5 turns out of the game. You'll be able to have one of these up. Alright, not anything super overwhelming powerful, but useful. Then they give us Deathwatch Veterans, 6-inch move, toughness 4, 3-up save, 2 wounds, leadership 6, objective control 2. So they have the bolt gun, which is 24-inch range, 2 attacks, 3-up to hit, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. A frag cannon, blast, heavy, rapid fire D3. So 18-inch range, D3 shots. Within 9, it'll be 2D3. Hits on 4s, but if you're stationary, we'll hit on 3s. Strength 7, neg 1, 2 damage. And your blast, so if they have lots of models, we get extra hits. Or extra shots, not extra hits. Infernus Heavy Bolter. So it has heavy and sustained hits 1. So 36 inches, 3 attacks. But if you stay stationary, +1 to hit. So you'll be hitting on 3s, and on 6s to hit, you'll be getting +1 hit. Strength 5, neg 1, 2 damage. And then you have the Infernus Heavy Bolter, Heavy Flamer, ignores cover, and torrent. So 12 inches, D6 shots, auto hit, strength 5, neg 1, 1 damage. Long Vigil ranged weapon. Anti-infantry 4+, devastating wounds. So on 4s to wound, you'll be doing mortal wounds to infantry. 6s to wound, mortal wounds to everything else. Rapid fire 1. So 24-inch range, 1 a shot, 2 shots at 12 inches. 4 attacks, 4 to hit, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Then you have the missile launcher, which has frag and crack. Both are heavy, but the frag gets blast. So 48-inch range, D6 shots to 1. You'll be getting extra hits on big units from blast here. Both hit on 4s, but it'll hit on 3s if you're stationary. Strength 4 to strength 9. AP 0 to AP 2, 1 damage to D6 damage. Then we have a close combat weapon, which is melee. 3 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Deathwatch Thunderhammer has devastating wounds, so 6 wound to mortals. 3 attacks, 4 up to hit, strength 10, neg 2, 3 damage. Alright, now that's the Thunderhammer. Then you have the Long Vigil melee weapon. 3 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 5, neg 2, 1 damage. And then you have the Xenophase Blade. 6s to wound will do mortals. 4 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 5, neg 2, 1 damage. Their abilities are Death to the Alien. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. If the target of the attack does not have the Imperium or Chaos keyword, you can reroll a hit roll instead. Alright, so against the Genos, you're going to be rerolling all hits. Against everything else, you just be rerolling 1s. If they have the Astartes Shield, they'll be getting a 4 pinfall save. So the only thing left is Adeptus Titanicus, I said. And then here they have a link to all the faction focuses. Alright, so Blood Angels look really good. Dark Angels look solid. Black Templars look okay. Deathwatch look okay. Space Wolves I was really disappointed in. So hopefully there's some good rules for these armies in the indexes. Because a lot of them here wasn't super impressed with. But until we see everything completely released, points and data sheets for all their unique units, we can't really be sure how good any of them is going to be. But Blood Angels look like the winner here from what they showed us today. So